the gun. Phils keynoting the Cavalier run. Utah needs time. Cavs by 8 on Sports Channel. Back inside the gun on Sports Channel. 2/3 of the Cavalier law firm exploding on the floor.
That's right. Chris Mills out front giving the ball to Bobby Fields. Did you see the hang time right there and the reverse basket right there, right here over the top? Watch Bobby Fields playing in the passing lane just ahead of Hornacek. Hornacek has had all kinds of problems tonight. And right here he has another one. The steal by Fields and the easy 2 points.
Been a tough night for Jeff Hornacek. You see him end the Cavaliers 7-0 run by flying through the paint to fill it up. Hornacek only with 8. Cavaliers 10-2 on this 95-96 season when they have a lead after 3, which they had entering the 4th. Marley backing down. Ferry in the air. Danny missed the triple.
Oh, he was way off on that one. Tell you what, he should be a little bit fatigued having to guard Karl Malone all game.
Stockton wanted to go down to the mailman. Not a real good angle, Jimmy, and the pass hit Malone in the hands and out of bounds.
Michael, it was the Cavalier defense. They really cut Stockton off before he could really figure out if he should shoot or pass. This unit has done the job in the last 2.5 minutes.
If you want to term this going small, maybe this is what Mike Fratello's looking at right now. Ferry the largest on the floor with Mills, Phils, Marley, and Crotty. Shot clock at 5. Mills wheeling baseline. Marley for the tray. And it rattled as that shot clock went off. Ferry bouncing down on the baseline with David Benoit will go Utah's way. Marley had that halfway down the cup and it kicked out.
You know what? I've never seen a player have more ins than outs than Dan Marley. What is it, Michael? Is it the rotation on the ball? Maybe he might get his hand underneath it, so when it hits, it's spinning to the right or the left. But I'll tell you what, every time he shoots it, it looks good.
Still trying to figure out the gun arena rims. David Benoit had a chance at the 3 ball. Malone and Keefe banging around. The mailman is having a rough night, Jimmy. Talking about the 5th game of a 6-game trip. They struggled, although he had a big night last night. Is he getting to the point in his career now where he might start to feel a little weary on back-to-backs on the road like this?
Michael, he may be, but I'll tell you what, the 5th night, when you're coming from all the way from the west to the east, and then last night they had to play so hard against Philly, a team that was playing just like the Cavaliers with the up-tempo and playing defense all over the floor. I see fatigue.
Bobby Fields found Chris Mills. Mills went glass. Huey Evans took it away. Offensive foul, Bobby Fields on his crash through the paint.
14, Bobby Fields.
And we've documented Phil's ability to get to the basket. Hey, good call. Keefe was there. He was there. You can't argue with that. Look, he was there way before Phil's got in the air. When Phil's came down, he came down right on Keefe. Good play by Utah.
Cavaliers by 6. Terrell Brandon is back and banging around with John Stockton. So Mike Fratello got even a little bit smaller there. Brandon for Crotty. Phils thought he had basketball with Hornacek, Marley, and Bobby Fields. Dan Marley's going to get hit with a Cavalier personal. That's 3 on Dan.
Tell you what, it looked like more Fields than Marley. When Hornacek turns the corner right here, let's see who really gets him. I thought he blew the whistle when Fields grabbed the ball. But Marley bails him out. He threw his hands up quickly.
Cavaliers by half dozen, trying to take home another home success. Adam Keefe is going to power it down, and John Stockton again with a pretty dish.
Well, we talk about their ability to execute, and they do it about as good as anyone in basketball in the half court.
Second time tonight, Adam Keefe has had solo runs all by himself off the baseline, and Stockton's found him. Mike Fratello wants to talk about it. Cavs by 4 when we get back on Sports Channel. Utah Jazz, one of the NBA's best out west. 16 up and 8 down on the year, but did they lose many back-to-back? Well, Cavaliers are trying to make that happen tonight. Phil's hard to the hole. Bobby got it up on that square. Got contact from Adam Keefe on the way in.
And Bobby Phil's playing with all kinds of confidence. And fans, let me tell you something. That was a quick turn by Phil's to get to the basket. He is really determined to help this team offensively, and you know he does it defensively. But I tell you what, Michael, right now, Bobby Fields could be about as good as he wants to be. You can see that the work this summer has really helped his game.
Talk about maybe we will find out when we get around the entire NBA this year if there's a more improved player in all facets of the game than Bobby Fields. After the contest tonight, join us on our first Merritt Community Bank's postgame show. John Tellich, Bill Needle will interview some players of the contest, give you all the numbers and highlights to your first Merritt post-game show tonight when we get done on Sports Channel. Bobby Phills cashes in twice from the line. Phills with 22 to face the Cavaliers. 6 of them here in the fourth. The lead is 6. Benoit finds Hornacek. You let Jeff Hornacek sight it up like that, he'll drain him.
Well, you know what happened? Marley and Phills got caught up. Marley was between both players. Phills made the decision, and that cost him a three-pointer by Hornacek. You know the guy can shoot.
Hornacek starting to pick it up a little bit. Horny now with 5 here in the fourth. He's got 11 on the night. Brandon being double, trying to find daylight. Hornacek run up, starting a Utah run out. Hornacek fading away, starting to feel it now as he busts that jumper over Bobby Phills.
That's right. One way to keep him down. I'll tell you how you keep him down. If you go right back to your post-up stuff, that'll end it right there. He's matched up against Dan Marley. And look at what the Cavaliers go right back to it.
Marley backing Hornacek down. Mills going tripling. Book it off the Marley dish. Mills delivers the tray.
You know that they're going to come back and double down to protect Hornacek who they're trying to keep in the game.
That ended a Utah 72 run. Cavaliers by 4. Malone double. Hornacek, does he keep the hot hand? Not this time. Keith, Malone there, Marley, Brandon, Cage, Michael Cage on the Cavalier personal foul. That's 3 on one of the tri-captains.
Yeah, and you know what? That is a good foul, too, because Keith was on the inside. You don't want to give up those easy ones like that. If you're going to come over the back on a 2-point opportunity.
So the Cavalier Brain Trust, Mike Fratello, chatting with Ron Rothstein, Sidney Love. They look at the defensive end of the floor. Stockton in open space. Malone on the roll through the paint. The mailman on the deliverance.
Good stuff by Karl Malone, and he keeps looking up at the clock. He knows what time it is. This is the time he has to deliver.
Stuffed the stat sheet last night. 31 points, 8 assists, and 8 boards. Marley feels the double. Phills will ride.
Tell you what, they had a choice. Yeah, they had a choice. Brandon was open too. It's almost like they're triple teaming the post action, almost inviting the Cavaliers to take those 3-pointers.
Hornacek for the lead. Won't happen. Marley with a Cavalier board. Fratello telling Terrell Brandon, let's push. Mills. Got it. Chris Mills wide open look, and he'll drain it.
The ability of the Cavaliers, Michael, to execute in transition in the half court is putting a lot of pressure on Utah defensively.
Mills on the big hit from 15 pushes the Cavaliers back up by 4, 73-69 inside 5.5. First illegal D we've had whistled this evening. That's a warning on the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Coach Fratello said, now don't front him in case he's okay, Coach. I forgot for a second. They don't want to front Malone because it's so hard to give help.
Ball fake you. Ball fake. Ball fake.
Benoit, Stockton, Hornacek, Malone, and Adam Keefe right now for Jerry Sloan. Stockton going hard baseline. Hornacek. He's cooled down after he hit 3 in a row.
Tell you what, Chris Mills has done the job on the boards. He has 5, but 3 out of the last possessions down the floor. Rebounding by committee.
Bobby Phills in rhythm. Back iron into the hands of Stockton. John Stockton has just busted the deep triple. Did not hesitate there.
Well, remember in the open we were talking about where his lifetime was only 13 points. He has the ability to turn up his offense, but he's so unselfish. Through the course of the game, he'd rather give it up than take some of those shots.
Marley strong on Hornacek. Dan Marley got in a heavy traffic with Malone and Adam Keefe. Jeff Hornacek got the personal foul. Dan Marley going to go to the line to shoot it up twice. Mike Fratello says it's got to be a shooting foul.
He was in the
hole.
paint. He was in the paint, and Karl Malone got him. It wasn't Hornacek, it was Karl Malone. They bailed out, man. It was a Karl Malone foul. That would have given him 5 for the game. Come on, make the call.
Got Hornacek instead, as you saw Gary Briggs attending to Dan Marley a moment ago. Danny Ferry back in Mike Fratello's rotation. Cavaliers by 1 and with it as we head to serious time here in the fourth. Shot clock at 6. Mills in traffic. Chris got it up on the iron. Is going to go to the line. Chris Mills continues his aggressiveness and his assertiveness at the offensive end.
Michael, this is just what Mike Fratello needs. Right here, you're going to see the action, the penetration. He splits 2 players, Keith and take Hornacek, take your pick, because both of them fouled him. But that's the kind of aggressiveness you need at this point in the game. You've got to create opportunities to score or go to the line.
Cavaliers are 7-0 during this young NBA season when Chris Mills gets 20-plus points. He's at 18 now. Make it 19 as Mills cashes in twice from the line. Mills with 19. 7 here in the fourth. Cavaliers by 3. Jimmy, it's one of the best clubs in the NBA, though, at closing you out, these Utah Jazz. They know how to win late.
That's right, and they do it with free throws. They're #1 in the league. But look at that, a little slip play. You talked about that in the open. That patented little slip play where you think he's going to go set a pick. He slides right down the lane, and with that big body, he gets such great position. There's nothing you can do.
Slip the screen. Karl Malone probably got half of his NBA hoops that way. Mills again. Came up short. Bobby Phills with Jeff. Hornacek couldn't do anything with Bobby Phills except try to contain him by holding him down. He got hit with a whistle and the personal foul.
Oh, well, wait a minute. They're saying that he was on the ground. They're saying that he was on the ground.
Yeah, Huey Evans straightened that out. He giving him 2 shots.
Loose ball foul number 14.
Tell you what, why don't they want us to shoot free throws? Now watch, the whistle doesn't blow until he tips the ball. Come on.
Bobby Phills will stride to the free throw stripe. Bobby with 22 tonight, 24th consecutive start for the young veteran out of Southern.
Good job, Bobby.
Continues to impress everybody around the NBA. Jimmy, wherever you see Dan Marley trying to run that off, under Gary Briggs, a very astute tutelage over there. Everywhere we go around the NBA, though, people ask us about this guy right here, Bobby Phills. What's been the turnaround in this game?
Well, you know what it is, Michael? He had that 1 year last year where he started every game, and he just started to understand what it takes and how hard he had to play to be successful. He had some failures, but he had a lot of successes, and now he's been able to build on that through some hard work in the summer.
Malone in a crowd. Michael Cage looking at Huey Evans saying, Huey, I didn't get a whole lot of contact there, but he did get the Evans whistle and the personal foul. 4 on Michael.
And they're going to give him a shooting foul on this one. They blow this whistle before he even makes the turn. Now watch right here. The whistle blows right there. Karl Malone, see, he was going to pass it, and now he takes the shot, and they're still going to give him 2 shots at the basket. Scott doesn't need any help.
Mailman can cut the Cavalier lead to 1 if he's successful twice. Cavs on Sports Channel brought to you by Beechwood Age Budweiser. For a taste you'll find in no other beer at any other price. And our stage manager extraordinaire, Gary Coach, will second this. It's always been true. This Bud's for you. Malone has hit a couple from the charity stripe. Cavaliers lead now, cut to 1. The Mailman, a quiet 19 right now, but want to explode at any moment.
Yeah, they need Brandon to explode a little bit too. He's been, he hasn't taken a shot in a while.
Phil's with power over Hornacek. Won't get the roll. Benoit on the defensive board.
Well, you haven't heard from Brandon. He's been letting these other guys do their thing. But Michael, it's about Terrell Brandon time, I would think.
Hornacek running off the stack. Jerry Sloan thought that time his shooting guard was banged around.
He initiated the contact.
Terrell has been scoreless here in the fourth. Now through a crowd, Brandon didn't get the roll on the short jumper.
Yeah, that's the shot you want to see him take, that mid-range jump shot.
2.5 left, Cavaliers by 1. Trying to put Utah away, one of the best in the West. Shot clock at 6. Stockton for the Utah lead, running glass to hit the tough jumper.
That's right, looked like even off the wrong foot. But that's what you get from Karl Malone and Stockton. Under pressure, you know who you can go to. Makes life a lot simpler. There's no indecision.
Inside 2 minutes left. Ferry for the Cavalier lead. Missed everything. Dan Marley going to come back in for Mike Fratello.
Cavs need to hold him right here.
Utah by 1 and with it. Malone found Adam Keefe. Oh, yeah, with one coming from the free throw line. Adam Keefe's made a living tonight running free on the baseline.
That's right, and that's what he does. Strictly a role player who accepts his role, and his role is just to run the baseline and defend an offensive board. But look, when the Cavaliers double team, Brandon was the only player back for the rotation, but Brandon was so small it was a mismatch. He couldn't cover. See, everybody's rolling over to protect. Brandon rolls over, size mismatch, strong move by Keefe, 2 points.
Make it 3 as Adam Keefe capitalizes on the three-point opportunity. So Adam Keefe with 7 now, right on his average on the year. Mike Fratello and his ball club, but now down 4 when we come back to the gun. Bobby Phil's been very strong with 8 fourth-quarter points. He's got 24, but you see Utah has been on a now run of 7-0. Over the last couple of minutes. It turned around the Cavalier lead of 3 and put them in a 4-point hole.
Tell you what, that small lineup did the job, but when Mike went back to the rest of the starters, Utah countered with their starters. Advantage Utah so far, Michael.
Cavaliers need a hoop here and then a stop at the other end. Mills with Keefe. Chris wants to take it. And it's stripped by Hornacek. Came to double, picked Mills' pocket.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go. Hornacek is such a good defender. Played him straight up. Didn't go for any of the ball fakes.
Now the Cavaliers most assuredly need a stop. Down by 4. Rotation finds Hornacek.
Keep it out of Malone's hands.
Michael Cage trying to stay with Karl Malone, who is establishing on the block. That'll be number 5 on Michael. Karl Malone is going to go to the line.
That's right there. Nobody plays Holly Malone, but he was pushed by Cage from the rear. So tough to do. Keep the ball out of Stockton and Karl Malone's hands.
Mailman's been perfect on his throws tonight.
78%, number 1 in the NBA as a team.
As we talked about, Jimmy, almost every offensive category. Points per game, 105. They're 5th in the NBA. They shoot almost 49% as a club. They shoot 40% beyond the All of these numbers are in the top 5 in the NBA.
Well, they can shoot. You know what? And this is the same record they had in their best season. And in January is when they went 14-1. So right now they're looking pretty good if they can pull this thing off here in Cleveland.
Mailman's got an 8-point fourth quarter happening for himself and Jerry Sloan, his basketball team. Sloan's guys now on a 9-0 run that has turned around a 77-74 deficit into an 83-77 lead with 1 minute and 7 left. I want to remind you that coming up tomorrow night, timeout Story. Cavs with a couple of fulls. Without a 20 left, they need points and they need them in a hurry. 1 minute left, Cavs down 6. Brandon going to look at 3. Hornacek looking to save, couldn't do it. Knocks out a couple of customers in the front row.
Yeah, what they flattened him pretty good too.
He's up with a smile.
Yeah, he's still smiling.
Tough guy. Might have been a football player in his day.
Yeah, or the Spirits.
Or something.
Right, because right here he gets hit pretty good. But look how he holds him off. Hey, Michael, that's like the time you caught Marley. Same thing, right?
No, not quite the same result. Not quite the same result. Dan and I have spoken about that and traded stories about how it unfolded, and we're all on the same page. Brandon through a crowd. Terrell's going to float it home to cut the Cavalier deficit to 4.
And he is the one. They need a steal right here. They don't need to foul because that will put Utah on the line.
Still an eternity left in the NBA. 38 seconds. Shot clock at 14. Fratello telling his ball club, play defense, no foul. Malone found Benoit. Shot clock at 4. Benoit off balance. Adam Keefe with maybe the left-handed dagger in the Cavalier hearts. Again, floating free baseline with a putback tip.
And the bench players coming through, and that's what Keefe has done for this team since he's been here. His ability to hit the offensive boards and run the break and defend.
The Stanford Cardinal with 7 in the fourth quarter. Utah by 6. Cavaliers have let a 4-point lead late in the fourth slide away, and certainly Cavaliers bench core not augmented tonight by the 3 gentlemen you see in suits. Tyrone Hill at the middle top of your screen. Antonio Lang, who came over from the Phoenix Suns in the trade for Hot Rod Williams, and of course Brad Doherty, who walks now beyond Tyrone Hill. 3 guys that at some point Wayne Embry, Mike Fratello hope to have back in uniform to help this ball club.
Yeah, and this is when they need help, Michael. You said before the game started that here was an opportunity for the Cavs who've been on a little bit of a run to face a plus 500 team and show what they could do. And now you can see the difference and why these teams are successful, because they do have bench depth, especially in the front court.
Adam Keefe with the only 7 points that Utah has off Jerry Sloan's bench in the second half, and they've been monstrous here in the fourth quarter. Mills got a look at 3. Got it! Mills over Adam Keefe. Oh, that happened so quick. Mills with Stockton. Now Stockton's one of the best at securing games from the line in the NBA. But the Cavs down 3, had to go get him.
Well, this is the situation Stockton was in Philadelphia, and he missed the big free throw. And here we go again. But watch Mills' free throw. Keefe is right in his face. But watch the concentration of Mills. 3.
One of the best in the NBA at the stripe, John Stockton. Last night, as if you weren't with us earlier, he, to the Utah Jazz, incredulously missed a free throw that would have maybe helped put it away for them, and they ultimately got beat by Philly. 108-104. But you're talking about John Stockton, you're talking about an 83%er from the line. Now that's lifetime, and he missed his second. Cavaliers are down 4, 86-82. This is the NBA, people. Don't go anywhere. An eternity left to go.
And you know what the crazy part about it is that they could take 2 just as well as going for the 3, Michael, because they're still going to need 2 shots. So they need to give themselves an opportunity right here. Since they called the timeout before the ball was advanced, I think they can take it at half court, and they probably will.
Michael Reggie, Jim Jones, as the look of Danny Ferry reflects the situation the Cavaliers are in. 17.2 left. Cavaliers down 4. And Jim, entertaining as only the NBA can be, and yet we talked about it. You get a ball club down like Utah, the toughest thing to do is finally put them away and drive them to sleep, because the Cavaliers had a lead and weren't able to do it. Utah knows how to win down the stretch.
Yeah, they know how to win because they've got 2 all-stars that can make pressure shots. But I'll tell you what, Stockton left the door open. Cavaliers need 2 shots to win this thing, to win or tie. It's going to take, it looks like, 2 shots anyway. So, Michael, that puts less pressure on this basket. If they can get a 2 here and foul, now the same scenario develops again.
Dan Marley coming back. Another 3-point bombardier for Mike Fratello to factor in from deep. So it'll be Marley. Dan has hit 1 triple tonight. Terrell Brandon, Danny Ferry, Chris Mills, Bobby Phills.
Plenty of time to win this game. 17 seconds, and all they need is a 2. The 2 and another possession.
Ferry this time with a fire. Mills in tight. Chris got the putback to cut the Utah lead to 2 with 13.7 left.
Foul on the inbounds.
Malone's going to get a 20. So Chris Mills, right man, right spot for Mike Fratello as he followed the Ferry misfire in flight. Went glass to pull the Cavaliers back to within 2. Mills now with a 12-point fourth quarter for 24.
And right here, they counter the first and second cutter, but they leave Danny open. But watch Chris Mills to the far right. He'll come and get the rebound and lay it right back in. Utah, Michael, not paying attention to detail. Here's an overhead view. Look at Benoit not picking up any bodies, not looking around in to see who's near him, just watching the flight of the ball. Cavaliers with a chance to do some damage, but they've got a foul on the inbounds. They cannot allow this team to get the ball up the floor. They need 2 free throws. I see 2, 3. They need for them to stop him right here. And look, they're putting Keith in. They're probably going to take Keith out because he's not a good free throw shooter.
Chris Morris is going to come back now. Can you keep the basketball out of the hands of Stockton or Hornacek here? Wouldn't that be the key, the two best that they have from the stripe?
You're going to have to, Michael, even if you have to double team.
Didn't happen.
Nope.
Hornacek got inside, got the basketball, and Bobby Phills had no other recourse but to clamp him with a personal foul.
Yeah, that hurts because we all know that Hornacek is one of the better free throw shooters in the game, too. This is a tough team to defeat, Michael, because they can make free throws.
Sure, Mike Fratello would have liked to force it into the hands of Benoit or Chris Morris, as opposed to Hornacek or Stockton.
Yeah, the weaker of the two.
Still 12.7 left. If Hornacek happens not to cash in on one of the two, Cavaliers still with plenty of life.
That's right, a chance to tie it and win it if he splits it. Good job. They must be living right.
Didn't happen for Jerry Sloan's ball club. A little bit of a smile from the head coach of the Cavaliers.
They must get the rebound. Karl Malone on the side of Ferry. They cannot allow Malone to get this rebound.
Cavaliers have no timeouts. The lead is 2. We missed them both. 9 seconds left. Cavs down 2. Marley for the win. Got it! Oh, Thunder Dan with the stroke that stuck with 3.6 left. Marley brings them up in the gun. Cavaliers by 1 over Utah. I told you a moment ago, this is the NBA. You do not get up and leave. Eternity is 10, 15, 20 seconds of basketball left. And Dan Marley just made that young Clevelander's Christmas maybe a lot more pleasant to deal with.
Michael, the best thing is they got the rebound, but watch Brandon. He stops right there. No one picks up Marley because they thought Brandon was going to drive. There was no hesitation by Marley, and that's what he used to do all the time when he's with the Phoenix Suns. A real strong shot, but the key to all of this, Michael, is they got the rebound and gave themselves an opportunity. Now coming back down the floor, they've got one delay to give so they can get some idea as to what Utah may do. But look how everyone is crowded around Ferry and Brandon, and they forgot about Marley.
We said it about 3 weeks ago when he went off at Philadelphia. Yeah, Thunder Dan, welcome to Cleveland, Ohio. They love you inside the gun. And when the stroke is splashing like Marley has had recently, he's going to even hear more of the positive pronouncements from the Cleveland crowds. Jimmy, if you're Jerry Sloan, though, as we look at Dan Marley, he's got to be thinking, wait a minute, this is a bad dream? I'm in Philly last night and Stockton misses from the line. Now Jeff Hornacek misses from the line tonight in Cleveland. It's all about life on the road in the NBA.
That's right. They're #1 in the NBA in free throw shooting. Of all the parts of their game to falter, it has been their free throw shooting. They have missed their last 3 free throws. The Cavs have one delay to give, so they get some idea as to what's going on, and they use it.
That's the delay of game warning the Cavaliers had to give. Now they got to play it straight up. 3.6 left. Cavaliers by 1 over Utah. Stockton from deep for the win. Got it at the buzzer. John Stockton with just a breath of daylight drives a major stroke through the Cavalier hearts by cashing out a 3 at the buzzer. Utah beats Cleveland 89-87.
He couldn't make both free throws, but Stockton makes the big three-pointer, Michael. Here's a look at it going away, and it was something to see. Right here, the little hesitation dribble, the pick on Brandon. Cage steps up, but not close enough. And look at that, dead center. John Stockton.
Never touched any bit of the orange rim John Stockton sending the Cavaliers off the floor with a defeat that they thought they had put in the win column. We'll be right back.